Welcome.
Namaskaram. I have a question. Can we consume steamed vegetables in vegetable like broccoli, beans, beetroot, and there is one more I don't know, and carrots in the evening? Steamed vegetables.
Okay, namaste, Andy. Okay, you can consume steamed vegetables, but it's not a mandate. We have an elaborated Pakashastra in our country since ages. So, if you are habituated to eat those steamed vegetables, you can. But uh, steamed plantain, steamed mm, jackfruit, steamed plantain, steamed jackfruit. These are not acceptable because this should be consumed with a proper paka. So just steaming is not enough for these vegetables or for these substances. So we have to be aware of the knowledge for those of for means these substances can be taken steam. These substances should be taken with proper due cooking process, like that. Okay, you can take steamed vegetables if you are habituated.
Okay. And, what are the foods we should like you mentioned if you have a like gastric problem you should avoid in the evening and like for like backache. This is on behalf of one of my friend who has a backache regularly. He get up in the morning, feels heavy in the back. So what food should be he should avoid?
General, this is a general thing. uh, for the gastric disturbance and backache, vata and pitta are the disturbed doshas in the body. For vata disturbances, uh, for pitta disturbances, heavy foods should be avoided. In heavy foods, potato, non-veg, etc. Potato, dal, non-veg, and other tuberous, whitish tuberous fruits should be avoided. And in dal, the basin means Bengal gram. In English, it's Bengal gram. In did you are you getting me? Senagapappu. In Telugu, it's Senagapappu.
Senapindi, yeah.
Yeah.
Senagapindi, Senagapappu.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be avoided. In Pitta condition, Pitta and Vata condition, this Vata aggravates with those substances which are heavier to the gastric system.
Yeah.
Those
All chana related stuff. Yeah.
all
Chana.
chana related means
Got it.
peach,
Got it.
chana, besan, etc., etc.
Rajma, all these things. Yeah.
All the pulses should be avoided.
All the process.
But these gastric related persons may take the this what we call tur dal, the soup of tur dal. These guys can take the soup of tur dal, but this soup should not be the paste of the dal. The uppermost layer of this
Only
tur
the
dal, boiled
liquid
tur
part.
dal. Yes, the superficial part while boiling this dal can be put aside, and this um, additives, etc. After the additives, one can take the soup of the tur dal, because one should have a protein supplement in regular food. So for the gastric disturbance, for those who are having gastric disturbance, this soup of tur dal, milk, these are the substances which balances the proteins in their bodies. Okay. Mm. And especially in leafy vegetables, mm, all sour leafy vegetables should be avoided. Okay, those which are available to you, in those sour leafy vegetables should be avoided. Sour taste
So got it.
immediately triggers the gastric irritation. It's logically also can be understood. Okay, all sour substances should any sour substance triggers the gastric patient's suffering once it's put in mouth itself, immediately after putting in mouth itself. Okay, so sour substances should be avoided. Okay, there are many substances which are do's for this guys also. Okay, for example, the eggplant means brinjal for this vata related guys, vata vyadhi pidita persons, this brinjal is a slightly kafakara padartha, kafakara vegetable. This brinjal, that to tender in the tender stage, should be fried in castor oil. If a seriously ill person with this vata consumes the brinjal fried in castor oil, it will help as one of his medicines, one of his treatments. Okay, so this is general suggestion. If one suffers with any vata disease, weekly once he should consume the fry of this eggplant, uh, fried in castor oil. Okay, but castor oil is not at all palatable or easy to consume. So we have to put it in practice gradually. Okay,
Got it.
don't think the don't use castor oil as a regular oil in the quantity regard. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So just one more question, just quickly. We are having turmeric milk in the night. Is it
Ah, okay,
like
this is okay, fine.
golden milk we say? Yeah.
Golden milk. In this corona days, it's named as golden milk. And
Also,
in
seen when he
and
came, he used to promote it a lot. Just have a turmeric also with the water. I have in the morning. So we are just taking turmeric milk. Just that to 100 ml, not more than that. So, yeah.
fine, fine, fine.
Thank you.
Think
Thank you.
the thing is not regarding the milk. The thing is regarding the quantity of the turmeric. The turmeric should not be exceed 2 or 3 grams. Maximum it's 5 grams regarding the kg body weight of the person. If he is stout and tall, if his weight is more than 75, he can consume up to 5 grams. Okay, like that.
Do you
We have
prefer
to.
only to take in milk or do you prefer to take in soya milk? This is some of the.
Okay, but milk is preferable. Okay,
Oh,
uh, but soya milk also not an avoidable thing. It won't hamper anything. Okay, because
Whatever milk whatever you make at home is a good milk, not exactly coming from the packets.
yes,
it's
yes,
very true.
that's
But unfortunately, Srini, as we are here
Yeah,
abroad, because you
make
either.
make your own milk.
Yes.
I already released a video. You
Okay.
can make your own milk. That's always better. Yeah.
Okay.
This,
Okay.
One thing we need to
but one suggestion regarding this soya milk, haridra means this turmeric is said as uh, yoshita priya, means this is a lovable thing to ladies. This synonym is not only said because of it's being used by ladies in more occasions, more times, but it helps in hormonal balance. It helps in their regular health also. So likewise, this soya milk also improves the health of, maintains or balances the health of a lady, means gynec health of a lady. The soya milk contains estrogen promoters. So this soya milk, the consumption habit of soya milk improves estrogen. So overconsumption of soya milk by males is not at all suggestible. This is a noteworthy point. Okay. So this soya milk can be consumed. Soya chunks can be used in food, but as much as ladies consume, we should not consume that much. Okay, this is general suggestion because it improves estrogen. It maintains the balance of the hormonal health of females. So
Okay.
that's it.
okay. Thank
So
you.
this is perfectly suggestible for the ladies who are in pubertal age, who are in menopausal age. Okay, those in that ages, lady suffers with some hormonal disturbances. Generally, every lady in these times. So this consumption of soya milk thrice weekly means one consumption should be 200 ml, not more than 200 ml. So this consumption of soya milk for ladies is suggestible uh, thrice a week only. That too. Okay. So males should, gents should be keep this in mind. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And let's give the chance to other people who are waiting. So any questions?
Namaste. Hanumantrao here.
Hanumantra. Yeah. Hi.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Again, Namaste, Dr. Garu.
Namaste,
And first of all, thanks very much to Srini Garu for his immunity program. I have benefited a lot on that one. Like I'm following as per your rules. Everything is fine. I'm a Vata based, like my body tendency is Vata. I had a lot of problems. Most of the problems has been gone now. One of the issue I have currently is I'm not feeling hungry, but like in the stomach, I'm not feeling hungry, but I get headaches when I'm not delayed with the lunch or any meal. So, and also I have a belly fat as well. That is these are the two issues.
Okay.
I'd like to know.
So you should regularize your lifestyle. You should practice yoga, etc., for the improvement of appetite, etc. Okay. Regarding the medicines, you can take. Are you suffering with hypertension, etc.?
No.
So you can take. It's suggested in suggested by Bhava Mishra. It's quoted in Bhava Prakasha Samhita. Bhojanagre sada patyam lavanardraka bhakshanam agni sandeepanam ruchyam jishva kantha vishodhanam. Means prior taking meal, prior consumption of a meal, lavana ardraka means mix equal amounts of lavana and ardraka means ginger, fresh ginger, and chewing it before taking a meal. It improves appetite. It clears the throat. It clears the tongue also. So these are the things which are quoted in the ancient Bhava Prakasha itself. Okay, so you practice eating of lavana and ardraka means ginger and salt in equal quantity. Equal quantity means just a cubic centimeter of this ardraka means ginger and that much quantity of salt before taking your main meal, not every meal. This will help improving the hunger. Okay, this one suggestion, just practice one suggestion and practice the yoga, etc. procedures will gradually balance it.
So what is lavana?
Salt. It's just salt.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And any other questions? Probably will take long.
I have a quick question. So I generally.
Vani, just check. The question go on. Yeah, let's wait any other.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. You can take the next one. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, go on, Vani.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, like for breakfast, like I have the habit of eating fruits, mostly apple or banana and almonds. So is it good or not?
At what time you usually take the breakfast?
8 o'clock.
Okay, it's not suggestible at the first note. Okay, because it's Kapha-kala, means this Tridoshas has this seat of prominence in every aspect of our life. Means nature can be divided into these three doshas. Our age can be divided into these can be categorized into three doshas, and diseases can be like that. A day means morning to night means a complete day is categorized into these three doshas. Means morning time after sunset, means after sunset, the pitta kala of the afternoon gradually declines and the kapha kala starts, and this kapha kala pertains throughout the night, overnight, and it gradually declines by morning 10, 11, those times. So at this 8 o'clock, it's the depletion time, declining time of this kapha kala. So this, in this kapha kala, the consumption of kapha aggravating substances may lead to diseases, may lead to disturbances, may lead to in the first note, gastric disturbance, heaviness. Uh, Even a heavy food can be taken in a most hungry time, can be digested by normal person. But even a lighter food, just after taking a huge meal, can become can lead to any disease for a healthy person also. So this, in this kapha kala, the doshas, means kapha dosha is in aggravated position, or even if it is declining position, it is said in that time kapha is in a dominant phase. So kapha improving foods, especially fruits, should not be taken, and this is a
Okay.
general suggestion. Okay, but if you are habituated since years, since years, please fix the time to 9, 10, like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
for
Thank you.
that's why I suggested the best time for fruit intake is 10 to 12,
Okay.
morning 10 to 12.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? And one important thing here, actually, you are asking so many questions about the fruits. Fruits always have separately, do not mix anything. Fruits actually directly goes into the intestines. So if you're mixing anything which is not fruit, which is not actually correct. So the fruits should not be in a right sense, should not be mixed with anything, because it's the digestion property is different, and digestion time is different. It's now 1 hour it will digest. And the basic the principle also very clear, like for watery fruits like watermelon or any melon, so it should not be mixed with any other fruits also. And fruits should not be mixed with any cooked food. Doctor also suggested some of the important factors about the fruits.
In Viruddhahara concept, a major point is Paka padartha should not be mixed with a raw. Means cooked food should not be mixed with raw food. This is one Viruddha. Viruddhahara concept is a vast thing. We cannot explain it in a single oration.
Yeah, that's right. And importantly, this is very important point. The paka, like we have whatever the cooked item and non-cooked uncooked item it is mixing. These days it became like very famous. So many people are just making so many dishes with these kind of things, right? Like on the name of salads, they're just mixing cooked and non-cooked foods. So that you should be very careful. Like, do not mix everything. If you want to eat fruits, eat it alone as a separate food. Separate food. And doctor also suggested the particular time, the pitta time is good. So that way you can select that time. It's very easy to understand and easy to
just for your better understanding, morning is kapha kala, means early morning is kapha kala, night is kapha kala, afternoon is pitta kala, and evening is vata kala. This is for your better understanding of the dosha kalas. Please continue, sir.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Before maybe a couple of hours before lunch, for example, even for pregnant women also, the people suggest before 1 or 2 hours before lunch, take some fruits, something like that as a mid morning meal. So that is that kind of thing. Or afternoon, we give fruits as a snack for the children and a 4 o'clock time.
That's,
so
that's the best habit. Yeah, that's the best practice.
So in our ashram also we give all our children with the fruit at 4 o'clock. So that's the best way to eat. Because if you are giving them some snacks 4 o'clock as a snack time, giving food, biscuits or something junk food, that doesn't make any sense. So giving a fruit, it gives the value actually. So that's why you need to understand clearly when to eat, what to eat. But this is very, very clearly, Dr. Chakravarti garu put it very nicely about the timings, the pitta time. That is very, very important to understand. Easily you can make the timings properly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and the last question, if anyone wants to ask anything.
Namaste, Andy. Thank you, Dr. Garu, for your time and valuable suggestions. So, when we are trying some new recipes, like today in this well, like, are there any spices that should not be mixed or something that we need to understand while we are trying anything new?
If you are asking about some specific substance, I can suggest you, but there is no
Like
generalized idea. Those new spices should not be mixed. There is no research, or you are interested. You are interested to mix those two spices or those two things. So please specify those. If those things are good, I'll clarify.
sure. Because in this coronavirus time, I could ginger a lot of the recipes. So just include that.
You are not audible clearly. Please repeat your question.
No, like in this coronavirus time, I'm increasing the intake of ginger
Okay.
in my, like I'm putting more ginger, pepper, and turmeric, as we all put it in the recipes, right? Indian
Where
style.
do you live, madam? Where do you live?
In US?
Okay, okay, okay. Fine. Tell me.
Yeah. So basically, can we mix those? Like, are there anything like cinnamon should not be mixed in some recipes or something like that? Or
Yes, yes, yes. Cinnamon can be mixed in hot and sweet substances. Cinnamon is acceptable, but pepper, uh, uh, there is a habit of means there is a recipe, there is a kind of cuisine in which Italian pastas they use cream, that macaronis, cream, along with those substances they use pepper also. That's not an acceptable combination. Okay, so milk, cream, starch, along with that pepper and vegetables. That too, not not completely cooked vegetables. That type of recipes, that type of mixture of spices is not acceptable. Okay.
okay.
So cinnamon is acceptable, madam, and the other things regarding pepper, etc., with the uh, place where you reside, where you stay, it's happily practicable. Okay, if you stay in India in these days, this is summer, so you have to avoid the pepper. This much of excessive use of these hot substances. If you stay in India, this is a suggestion for those people who stays in India. In our past days, our grandmother uh, uh, used to say that in summer, ginger usage of ginger should be reduced because of ginger triggers metabolic heat, and it means it releases more metabolic heat. So with the ginger itself, this is evident. Uh, Adding pepper, etc., other hot substances, means other Ushnavirya dravyas with this ginger will surely trigger metabolic heat, will raise metabolic heat. So, if the nature of your health and your outdoor nature also permits, you can happily use these substances, use pepper, ginger in excess quantity. Even regarding garlic also, you can use garlic also. But a simple suggestion is regarding usage of ginger and garlic, you better use ginger and garlic separately in recipe. Means make one recipe with ginger and other recipe. If you are intended to make some two recipes, one in uh, garlic in one recipe, use uh, ginger in other one. Okay, don't mix those two and use in both recipes. This is not a disturbing thing, but uh, the features, means the properties of this ginger of these two substances will get consumed, will get assimilated at optimum levels if those two are taken individually. Okay, especially regarding these two substances, because these two substances are mixed and used in regular practice generally. So this is my suggestion regarding those two. Okay,
Doctor,
is there any?
ginger and garlic we are using in all the like food items, no?
Okay. Okay, so that's why I'm suggesting. That's why not only you, many people have the habit of using ginger garlic paste in every cooking food item, in every curry or dal or some anything, any substance. So the suggestion is use ginger and garlic separate. This is my suggestion. And the disclaimer is it's not at all any disease causing habit, but for a better
Mainly medicinal value is
but this in this corona days, the antioxidant properties of ginger will get assimilated in optimum levels if ginger is used alone. Likewise, the anxiolytic analgesic properties of this lashuna, this garlic, can get assimilated in optimum quantities if it is taken alone, like that. Okay, for the sake of the taste of food, we can make many dishes, but this is suggestion.
yeah, and in fact that is actually very important suggestion. The many people are using excessive nowadays.
For the fear, because of the fear of corona,
fear
if
of
we
that.
use the excess ginger, garlic, and this turmeric, dhania, jeera, we may get benefited like that. That's not a
Advisable
that's
thing.
like a misnomer.
Hmm.
We
And
have a
anything
habit.
excessive is a dangerous. In fact,
Ati sarvatra varjayet.
yeah,
Ati in any aspect should not be permitted.
yeah.
It's not permitted.
For everything there is a 1 gram, 5 grams. So the turmeric already Dr. Chakravarti garu mentioned about the maximum 5 grams, right? So that way there is a measurement for everything. You know, the 1 or 2 grams for the ginger, 1 or 2 grams for. So everything there is a measurement. The people just use that. But earlier, if you did our traditional dishes, our mothers used to cook actually the dal with the garlic thing is separate, and
Absolutely.
the ginger you will have moong dal, the garlic thing. You might have remembered that pesar char. So that's really nice one. So that way you have it's a cooling thing also. But it is sometimes you have a sambar and other thing. They make it a garlic, the ginger thing. So that way there's a different combinations they used to use. They used to have that knowledge. But if you look at the current dishes in all the dishes, the famous dishes in all the restaurants or 5-star restaurants also with Viruddhaharas. All of them.
Everything.
All of them Viruddhaharas. 100%. That's why people are suffering with the gastric trouble and all the a lot of problems because of the mainly Viruddhaharas.
After getting awareness, we can means we may get a doubt on that substance. With lack of awareness, we won't complain the thing. We'll support the thing also because of the consumption of some soup, because of the consumption of some Italian dish. I didn't get this disease because of some other factor. We then also we still try to explore what is the factor of my illness, like that. The factor is the Viruddhahara, as you said, Srinivas.
Yes. And the people think that okay, they have their own intelligence. They can bear with that. Dr. Chakravarti said, yes, we can digest. We are okay with that. No problem now. Fine. But these experiments, the Samhitas have written with the great experiments. For each of them, they have done 40 experiments or more than that, and then they have written the principles. They are 100% correct principles. So we should follow that when get the knowledge of the Samhitas what doctor has shared. So that is why we need to gain that right knowledge. It's not like just some perception we have at the moment, but you have different perceptions different times. We have not done actually complete research on that particular topic. So just experimenting, but you're not, without understanding, just people are consuming things. So that is why it may,
experimenting is a very good thing. Exploring any subject means, even Pakashastra also. Pakashastra is an elaborated science. Even Ravana of Ramayana, Polastyavada, has a great knowledge in this Pakashastra. Nala, Bhima, etc. has great knowledge in this Pakashastra. So Pakashastra is it's a great subject. To explore new ways in Pakashastra also is acceptable. But before that, we should be aware of the things. What is Viruddhahara concept? What are the things should be mixed for cooking? What are the things? That is why milk and fish should not be mixed. Some guys have a habit. Some people of some places have a habit of kadi, means Rajasthani kadi is one substance which is generally the which is made with buttermilk, with sour buttermilk. So heated sour buttermilk is the major ingredient in that Rajasthani kadhi. It is habituated to the guys of Rajasthan. So these kinds of substances means these kinds of substances should be avoided. This is it. Tell me if there is any doubt for other guys, please let me know. I'll try to clear. Srinivas Garu.
Okay, yeah, I think that's that's really a wonderful session, Dr. Chakravarti Raghuram Garu. It is well explained. So most of the common things you have covered, and apart from that, you've also given a real example about the Pakasastra, how we need to follow things, and it's a huge subject. As we understand, you explained all the different viruddhas. The Kala
Examples of these kinds of viruddhaharas are very vast. So it should be explored. Okay.
As part of actually the basic awareness thing, and for the common people, and the Manvata healthy living things, we just published one of the charts, the basic Viruddhahara chart, like these the combinations, cooked and non-cooked food, and the combinations you mentioned about the ghee and honey, equal quantities, and the milk and the fruit. So those basic combinations, whatever that is published as a chart, that is on the Manvata website also. The people, and there some people are already using it. So I'll send you, Chakravarti, if you want to add anything, or if you want to make any suggestions, please do.
Sure.
So, yeah.
With pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much for
your
time.
It was very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely very informative and very helpful. I'm sure this will save several health problems, where the people
Still there is a lot of subject.
Yeah.
Krama viruddha, dosha viruddha, dhatu viruddha. There is more kinds of. There are many other kinds of viruddha aharas. Examples we have to explore. Majorly, I said the 7 types. So those are in general practice. So examples we can explore, but
sure.
We have to be aware of the kinds.
Because you have given a small the pinch of the a pointer in the Viruddhahara, so that I think the people can now start thinking about the one thought, okay, whether it is right combination. So at least that thought will be there when the people are consuming. That will definitely.
While consuming, before consuming, is this a wholesome combination? That should be the thought.
Yes. Excellent.
Thanks for organizing this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Namaste. Namaste all.
Thank you so much.
Let us
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
closing
you.
prayer before we leave. Just give a closing prayer.
Thank you very much, Srini, for all.
Om Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kachid dukha bhavet.
bhavet.
Om Shanti
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 Shanti Shanti.
Loka samasta
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. May all the beings happy and peaceful. May you all gain health, happiness and harmony. May you all gain great immune power and establish 3H family. Share this pure love and humanity with all around you. And let us pray for protecting this world. Just surrender to Ishvara Pranidhana. Just keep your both hands at your back, bend down. Surrender body, mind, and intellect to Almighty. Slowly come back with the divinity and the peace. Be happy and be peaceful. Thank you all. Namaskar.